Welcome to Rev Up. I'm Thomas Watson. I am a realtor. I'm also a broker in charge, Realty One Group Revolution, and I'm also instructor for these Rev Up sessions. So welcome. We're looking at module one today. Module one is talking about goals, planning, and systems. So our GPS. So as always, when we start these Rev Up sessions, we start with an affirmation. And the reason that we do these affirmations is to internalize the content, and not just for the sake of internalizing, but we want to believe it. We want to live it. So the best way to do it is to say it out loud. So if you guys will unmute, and on three, we'll say this out loud. I'm going to read it one time just in case you can't read it on the screen. But the affirmation says, I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. So on three, let's all say that together. 1, 2, 3. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. All right, good, great. So by the way, you guys can screenshot any of the content here. We don't distribute this. But screenshot what you want for your notes, write down whatever you need to. But take this to heart. This is the real deal. Until we start internalizing these attitudes, these mantras, these truths, then we really don't see them come to fruition in our lives. And again, when you're riding down the road, when you're doing showings, traveling, whatever, might be weird if somebody's in the car or not, but say these things out loud. Say positive things. Requote your goals. This stuff works. I've had CDs in the car before when we used to listen to CDs, but you can stream anything these days, so take advantage of it. So some of our learning objectives are keeping a positive mindset. This is key to any, not just real estate, but anything that you do in sales or life for that matter. We're going to talk about some of the tools that you're going to use in this first session. We're going to talk about thinking like a business owner. You guys are an agent, but one thing you're not an employee. You are a business owner. You are a 1099 real estate agent. You work under the shingle or the support system of Realty One Group, but this is your business and we want to help you grow it. I used to have a list of recommended books. I need to take that out, but I left that in there to remind myself to send anybody or make that available if we need to, but I can later. We're going to talk about SMART goals briefly, just what they are and the fact that you should use them. We're going to talk about creating a budget and expense worksheet. Basically, I'm going to provide these tools to you. We don't have time to create the budget on RevUp. And then we're going to talk about your productivity. Time blocking, what does it mean? Why do we need to do it? What is personal accountability? The different types of prospecting to grow your business. Using scripts and dialogues. I highly recommend you refer to these. We'll talk about that later. Committing to a schedule for prospecting, lead follow-up, and utilizing the GPS tools. And those are the worksheets that I emailed to you here just a few minutes ago. All right, any questions? If not, I'm gonna go right into the content. Okay, so as you're thinking about developing your business mindset here, there are three things that I want you to be aware of. And we can say, hey, these are characteristics of, being successful in real estate. But the first one is to have a great work ethic. I was raised by a father who was persistent and consistent. In the mornings, if we weren't out of bed, when the bell rang, well, the alarm clock went off. It was not looking good for us to lay there in bed. So we had to jump up, make our beds, get breakfast, get dressed. Our parent, my parents had us on a schedule. Outside of that, I learned that, hey, when I did a good job, I got rewards for it. So I saw that work ethic modeled, so I internalized it, and that's been my life. So what does that mean for you? What is a great work ethic? Anybody want to unmute?
Consistency. Very consistent.
Thank you. Key word there. The second one is an unwavering perseverance. Excuse me. And look, with ROG, we like to use the unwords because we're just about anything else any other brokerage is. But an unwavering perseverance. So perseverance is the willingness to stick through tough situations. And look, there are agents who get their license, and for the first few transactions or opportunities, whatever you want to call them, it seems like, money's falling off the trees or easy. But then all of a sudden they get that one deal. It's just, it's a heartbreaker. Well, it's going to happen. Sometimes I believe I would rather you experience that up front, so you know what real estate is like. It's not all roses and cash falling from trees, right? I think a lot of you guys know that by now. There's a lot of hard work. We always have to push through. And like I like to tell people, or agents, we're in the people business. Yes, it's sales, but it's really the people business. So unless you're willing to use your people skills and do it for the right reasons, then I don't think you're going to be very successful in real estate. And number 3, to have a positive make it happen mindset. This is what really seals the deal. This is the ticket right here, because it's how we look at a situation or a problem or an issue. My wife always tells me, you shouldn't look at the glass half full or half empty. I think that's what I would say to her. It's half empty. She says it's half full, but you're right. So let's look at the positive that we have. Let's look at the fact that we are under contract. Yes, we have problems. Hey, but we're still under contract and we can push through. We can come up with an alternative. So when you start thinking like that, then you're thinking like a business owner. Give me a second. My finder bar is in the way of my. All right, here we go. All right, diligence, hard work, and self-discipline. I think we've already mentioned that. Being consistent, as Darcy said, and sticking to a schedule. So, on average, it takes 30 to 60 days to create a habit or change a habit, right? Depends on who you talk to and who you read, and really you individually. So 30 to 60 days, we're going to go with that to change a habit. But hey, it takes a year to change a lifestyle. Do you know why most coaches enlist people for a year? Do you know why most brokerages ask agents to sign for a year? It's because, hey, it takes about a year to see a significant change. So I love to tell agents that are coming in the real estate business, hey, if you think you're going to be a winner, if you think you're going to blow it out in the first month, second month, hey, that's great. But let's talk about this. It's going to take you some time to build up business. It's going to take you time to talk to people, to schedule interviews or appointments. It's going to take time to show people houses, because people don't make decisions on day one usually, unless they're an investor. Okay. So anyway, but keep these things in mind. There are always exceptions, but we're in this for the long haul. Perseverance, continued patience and effort, being committed, being accountable. Now, I don't know what being accountable means to you, but to me, when I think about being accountable, number one, I'm accountable to myself. Look, the goals that I set, I'm accountable to meet those goals, to do the work, the hard work necessary to get me there. But also, I know that I mess up and I cheat sometimes. So I need somebody to help hold me accountable. So whether it's another friend in the business, a mentor, or a coach, I highly recommend you have someone to help hold you accountable with your business, specifically your goals. Okay. And then great salespeople, they figure it out, they get stuff done. This positive mindset thing starts with an attitude. I love John Maxwell's definition of attitude, or what he says about attitude. It determines our altitude, how high we go in life. I was picking up a rental car this morning. I knew I had to get back in time so I wouldn't be late for Rev Up. And I knew that in my mind on my way there, I was saying, I know they're not going to have that car ready. I know they're going to have that car ready. So when I got there, I was in defensive mode. I was like, is my car ready? No, but we'll get it right now. Okay. So, but attitude is everything. Self-talk. We talked about that earlier. Self-talk matters. It works. It helps. Now, when you're in a crowd, when you're shopping and you're self-talking out loud, it might seem weird to other people, but hey, if it's not weird to you, keep doing it. All right. You are 100% responsible. Okay. This is your business. Doesn't matter. There are things that are going to happen. Other people are going to respond differently, but in the end, it's our business. So check in with yourself often. Focus on what you want, why you're doing this, and be deliberate and intentional. Okay, before we move to clients first mentality, any thoughts? Okay, moving right along. So a client first, and I need to change that, not clients first, it's a client first mentality that we have. So it's making a commitment to your client's needs first. So what I mean by that is, let me give you a good example. I've heard this throughout my 16 years of real estate. Tommy, that agent I was working with just wouldn't listen to me. They kept taking me to neighborhoods that I didn't want to be in. They kept showing me houses in a different price range or a range I couldn't afford. So that should never happen. When we're listening, and if we're putting our clients' needs first, that's not going to happen. Okay. Always work in their best interest. Again, for example, they may choose a property that has a lower commission percentage, but it's the property that fits them. Don't be the agent that drives people to properties because it gives you the full 3%. Think about them first. Here's the way I look at it. If I close a client successfully, the odds are they're going to talk in my favor. They're going to refer business to me. So if I lose 1/4% or 0.5% because they decided to go with XYZ, that means nothing to me. I'm in it for the long haul. I want their friends and family to want to use me. So, and by the way, you risk getting yourself in trouble by trying to make the most money. I'll just leave it at that. All right. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try to make money. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to make money, change lives, but we got to do it the right way. Which leads us to the last one, do the right thing and the money will flow. I really believe this. This is the reason that I decided to open a brokerage in 2018. I've been with some of the big box companies and just seen how real estate works in general for a lot of people. And so ethically, I was either going to get out of the business or be in a position where I could control decisions and do the right thing. And in the end, do we really control anything? I'm not sure we do, but we can do the best. We can do the best that we can with that which God has given us. I'm a true believer of that. So honesty, integrity, and professionalism, something we should strive for. Okay, I'm going to run through these. I don't think a lot of this is new to us. I'll let you scan the screen. Some of the, I'm having to move things so I can see my screen. Give me a second. All right. Some do's in real estate. I'll just point out a few. The number one, or the one at the top left, is show confidence. When I was first licensed, I got my license 2006, did my first deal January 2007. I remember throughout that first couple of years, looking back, I believe there were times that I didn't show confidence in front of my clients because I didn't have it internally. And when you doubt yourself, people can see that. They can read that on you. And the good thing for me is that the first couple of years, most of my deals were friends and family, and I had a good run. But when those friends and family ran out, then I was, focusing on helping people I didn't know. So I had to learn, hey, I'm never going to know everything. I'm never going to know everything there is to know about real estate. But if I'm striving to be the best, I'm striving to stay on top of everything, that's where I want to be. That's when the confidence started kicking in. So if you're out there and your confidence is wavering, I get it. It's overwhelming sometimes, the amount of things that we have to track and be accountable for. But just know this. I know that if someone asks me a question, there's really, I don't think, any situation where I have to answer them right there on the spot. I can always say, hey, that's a good question. Let me get right back to you. I can call my BIC. I can call another agent. So don't let anything catch you off guard. There's really no reason. The response is a response that comes from you, comes from the heart, and says, hey, let me get back to you on that. Or I know a little bit on the subject, but I don't know everything, whatever it is. So anyway, think about that way. Show confidence. There's one thing I want to point. There's a bullet that says have your vehicle in top condition. That doesn't mean have the top of the line vehicle. Okay, you don't have to have a luxury car to be a winner in real estate. Okay, I've been through this debate with a lot of people. You see some agents that want it on their website. They have the Lamborghini. Yeah, right. That doesn't win friends and influence people, right? So it's what it means here is make sure that if you're going to go out for showings, your vehicle is not going to drop dead on you. Okay. You've kept the maintenance up. You kept it looking clean. Now things happen. We get flat tires, stuff like that. But you know what I mean. If you're going to be a business owner who's successful, make sure that everything that you have control of is in good condition, working condition. We want to build trust. We want to be positive. Believe in yourself, your company, and your tools. So I'm a firm believer that Realty One Group has given us some great tools and opportunities to be educated and updated, and even down to what I call their design, their logo, their look. I just think it's all professional. So I stand behind that. And because of that, that makes me more confident in what I do and how I talk with some of my clients. Any questions here? Okay, we're going to move on. All right, some don'ts. The first one on the left bullet, I will say this. Please don't put down the competition. Look, I've done it in the past. It's not professional. No matter what I think personally about an agent or another brokerage, please don't put them down in front of your client, because the first thing that client's going to think is, oh, they're condescending. Oh, or he or she is negative. And you don't want that. If somebody says, well, hey, I worked with a client from Remax in the past and they were great, don't bash Remax. Just say, hey, that's awesome. It's good to hear. I'm glad you had a good experience. The last thing we need in our profession is any more disparaging experiences, comments, because we're already near the bottom. We're near the bottom of the ratings if you look at how people think and feel about professionals in business. I think we're a little higher than an attorney, but anyway, so don't criticize the client. Even if it's your cousin, you're helping them buy the house, don't criticize them. Look, again, maintain a professional bearing. This is not just about you, but it's also about the firm that you represent. It's about the business that you represent in the larger community. So a lot of times we can get tunnel vision and get kind of caught off guard by an issue or a problem within a transaction, but bring yourself out of that and think on a bigger picture. What does this mean? Who am I influencing here? Don't lose your cool. Don't make excuses. Accept responsibility. And don't sell desperately. I will always tell an agent, because I practice this myself. If I get up in the morning and I feel like crap and I don't want to be around people, I don't show houses. I will pay another agent to show them houses for me, because I don't want to get around people and be a negative influence. I need to stay in the house until I get my stuff together, right? So that's just a little advice from me. Never ask a question they can answer no to. You can reframe it and get a different answer. Oh, I like this one. Focus on what you have done rather than focus on the skills and talents. So in other words, don't focus on what you don't know or can't do or haven't done. Focus on your talents, your skills, and your abilities. That's our uniqueness. That's the one thing we have to offer our clients that nobody else can give them. And that's our secret sauce. So, and I love to talk about skills, talents, and abilities, but that's a different conversation. Don't sell that you're great, always sell why you're great, okay? It's not about you, but it's about what you can do for your client. All right, visualizations, I love these. These have helped me throughout my life. I can tell you when I was 6 years old, 7 years old in elementary school, I was the smallest kid for several years in my classes. But I began to visualize who I wanted to be, and that really helped me. In the military, I visualized making it through, whether it's a deployment or a PT test or what have you. This has really helped me. In real estate, I can tell you, back in 2012, when the light really came on for me for real estate, I started visualizing what my life could be like, what my kids' life could be like if I would just focus. And between the beginning of 2013 to the end of 2014, I went from less than 2 million in sales to over 8 million. I lost or turned away 2 million because I just couldn't do it all. So that's what focus will do for you. That's what visualization will do for you. So how can we do that? Listen to good audiobooks, even good music, things that are positive for you. And what's positive for you may not be positive for me. So it's individualistic. Think about or internalize and experience the feelings of victory. If I obtain this, what will that feel like? I'm the guy that grew up with parents that never took a vacation. Okay. My dad was a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. But my wife wasn't having it, and I felt like, hey, I'm cheating my family out of memories. So back around, I don't know, 2013, 14, I made a commitment to my family. Hey, we will pause and take vacations. So we take at least 3 a year, and it has it has done more for my family than anything else we could do. Time spent with them is more than money. Okay. So think about how that relates to you and your business. I love this one. Number 3, sit comfortably and run your perfect outcome video in your head. And you want to do this constantly over and over. Consider 10 to 20 minutes of daily meditation or prayer. I highly recommend a morning routine, or whenever you start your day routine. For me, it's prayer and meditation, like Bible study. For you, it's whatever recharges you and gets you motivated for the day. Okay. And number 5, create a vision board or notebook. I should have taken a screenshot, but I have a kind of a work area that I have my notes and my goals and everything together. I run it on an app called Notion. But whatever it is for you, if it's just scribbling something down in a notepad or something on your something digital, it doesn't really matter, as long as you are able to see it and understand what it means for you. Let me check the chat right quick. Okay. All right. So again, affirmations are powerful, and they're most effective in first person, present tense, as if they already happened. So I'm a big believer. If I'm counting on something to happen, if in my mind, I don't think it's happening, then it's not happening. Okay. You've got to believe it. So the exercise for you, and just jot a mental note or write something down, and you can do this later, but write your own affirmation for success. And I would love it if you would email or text that to me and say, hey, what do you think? Or, hey, this is my affirmation, because this is big stuff. Okay. This is not just growing your business, this is growing you. All right. So affirmations, again, these are some other affirmations. These are examples of what you could write for yourself. I know my value and only work with realistic, qualified, motivated buyers and sellers, or always put my client's best interest first. And you guys get the idea here. All right. This is real basic stuff here in module 1. But when we talk about setting the stage for success, what does that mean? So a new agent is a new agent, doesn't know where to start, right? I've been there, and whoops. Okay. So what I want to show you, for those of you who are newer in the business or restarting, what is it that I need to help me be successful in the real estate business? Okay, number 1, you have to have a laptop. You've got to have a way to communicate digitally right now. Everything's on the web, from the way we advertise to presenting properties to just chatting with people. So I'm going to skip and say you don't need the camera, because I'm a believer that if you're doing real estate the right way, you're paying a professional to do that. However, if you're just starting out and you don't have that $150, a good camera and a tripod would be handy. But I still think you can find a friend or somebody who would do that for you and do it better than you can do it, unless you're a professional photographer. So that's just my soapbox. Note cards and envelopes will help you do the 3x3x6 we're going to talk about. A passenger vehicle in good running condition with AC helps. A separate business checking and savings account. Okay. These are things we can talk about later. A name tag, and well, when you join, you should get a 1PIN. If you hadn't gotten it yet, I'm sure you will get it soon from Amanda. But order your name tag and carry it around. This is not just promoting us, it's promoting you as a real estate professional. And in a time where people are, very, they wonder why you're going in the house across the street, you need some kind of professional bearing, and that helps. Smartphone with a camera, business cards. For whatever reason, people still want to see business cards. I kind of think we're past business cards. If you have a digital card, that's even better. Internet access, for sure. A financial calculator, you have that on your one app. You need a personalized yard and our open house signs. And if you're a new agent, we do have some open house signs and directional signs in one of our offices. I'm not sure. I think it might be in the Charlotte office now. And we do have printer, scanner, copiers available in our offices. And if you got a tablet, I guess for showings, that could come in handy. So, all right. So there's some of the things you might want to think about adding to your arsenal for real estate. All right. So when we're starting out, knowing your market, this is critical. Now, if you don't have business yet, this is the perfect time to get to know your market. Okay. Somebody unmute and give me an example of what you can do as an agent to know your market.
Go to all the vacant or any, I choose the vacant listings in my neighborhood, and I go to all of them in my free time and video.
Perfect. That's a great idea. Yes. Why do you want to actually go inside of our property?
Value for me.
Yep. So even in the same neighborhood, you have properties that, here's an example I like to give. If let's just take, I used to live in Brandon Oaks in Union County. I can tell anybody that moves to Brandon Oaks, hey, if you get a house in Brandon Oaks, you're probably going to have granite countertops, oversized cabinets, and laminate floors. Okay. Knowing things like that will help you. People want to know that you know your market. Okay. Now, you don't have to know everything, but getting out there and knowing what the trend is, knowing what the kind of the standard is for that neighborhood really helps you. Most of our communities are newer, so you can go talk to a builder and say, hey, what are your homes trimmed with? What's this? What's a standard package look like? Things like that. So anyway, anybody else? Okay, so you want to preview active listings. Excuse me. And I say preview property every working day. So you're always going to the bank, to the grocery store. Why not preview a property along the way? Okay. Excuse me, my allergies are kicking in. All right, so this slide needs to be updated. So we have a new one app as of about a month ago. So if you go into one login and go to Design Center, you will see you can click on and download the one app that we have now. And I highly recommend it. It's very user friendly. This just talks about how to share your app, capturing the leads. Okay, let's talk about our strengths. Okay, so this is one of the worksheets that I sent you. So what I'm going to do is just going to kind of go through this, and move on. But when you get to the worksheet, it'll make sense. So this is to help us understand where our strengths lie. Most of the time we count on other people to point out our strengths. We don't really know what we're good at, or we're not sure. And I will say a lot of times it's not the big things that you usually think about. It's the smaller things we capitalize on without thinking of it that is our superpower. So what you want to do is, in one column, list your past jobs and the roles for which you were hired. Okay, what did you do in that job? Then you want to list the activities you performed that you enjoyed the most. In all of the jobs that I've worked in, I think working with people is the overlay for me. There's some jobs that I don't really like, or I like more than others in my past, but in all of them, I had some level of customer service, which is what I really love. Then you want to list the activities you performed that you enjoyed the least. So the idea here is, when you see it on paper, it kind of rings your bell. It's like, oh, okay, I'm getting the aha here. And so do you see any patterns? So in all of the jobs that I've had, so I can tell you, when I was 16, I started out as a bag boy. Then I worked in a stock room at a grocery store. Then I joined the military right out of high school. Then I worked after grocery. I graduated from college and went to work as a probation officer. So I had different environments, very drastic environments, but the one key thing was I was working with people one-on-one, which took me to real estate. I love looking at properties. I love the idea of streams of income. And then when I saw that real estate had both multiple streams of income and the ability to meet different types of people and help them, it was like a light that came on for me. If you don't remember anything else today, I hope you remember this one thing. Run your business like a business. Treat your business like a business. Most agents, I will say, treat their business like a hobby. They will say it's a business, but they treat it like a hobby. They don't get that bank account. They don't spend money in advertising or do anything to help them scale on that level. They're just kind of waiting for people to call them, or waiting to bump into a friend that wants to buy a house. You know what? And it's okay if you want to be that agent. I'm not knocking it, but what I'm saying is that is not running a business. Okay, that's a glorified hobby. If you're running a business, that means your A game is on. So you want to begin with the end in mind. You're serious about building a successful business because you want to have an asset that you can capitalize on. Okay, so think about this. Do you want a business you can sell or pass down, or are you just here to earn extra money? Either one is an okay answer, but what's not okay is being a passive agent, is not doing the right things to make sure your business is legal and things like that. Whether you want to earn extra money and sell one house a month or whatever. By the way, I know an agent for the past several years. She lives in the Lake Norman area. She sells 3 to 6 homes per year, but they're 2 million plus. And that's all she wants. She's a stay-at-home mom. That's the income she wants to have. And her team leader is grateful to have her on his team. And that's working for her. It works for her team leader. So you got to figure out what works for you. Why are you here? Maybe you want to sell part-time, which is, 3 to 6 deals a year. And then after you retire, you're going to kick it into overdrive. It doesn't matter. But in the end, treat your business like a business. Any questions? All right. This is also a worksheet that I've emailed to you. It's not my favorite one, but it does give you an idea of some things you need to be thinking about when we're talking about running your business like a business. So you need to have a written business plan. So by the way, our 2022 Realty One business plan is available in One University. If you can't find it, just email Amanda or Andrea and they will send you a link to it. I highly recommend you get on this. It'll take you a couple hours, but it's worth it. I mean, it's very comprehensive, very detailed. But successful business owners have a written business plan, okay? They write out what they want to achieve, how they're going to do it. So your goals are clearly defined, okay? You need to have goals that are measurable and trackable. And you want to use personal and business budgets. You want to make sure you separate those two things in your business. All right. When we talk about building a team here at Realty One Group, what we mean is Realty One Group, your fellow agents, your mortgage agent or lender, your attorney, escrow agent. I don't know why title is a separate one, but anyway, your home inspector, whoever does your homework, you get what I'm saying? The people that you work with to turn a transaction or to close a transaction or an opportunity, that is your team. Now, building a team on a different level, which is where you have buyers agents and things like that, that's different from what I'm talking about here. I want you to start seeing yourself as working with a team, because at a very minimum, you have myself, Andrea, Amanda, Diana. You have agents that are under our brokerage that are part of your team. So when you go talk to a potential seller or buyer, you can give them that. Say, hey, I have a team that backs me. We have a combined experience of 100+ years, if you really want to be dramatic about it. But anyway, you have a team standing behind you, so don't forget. Anybody know what SMART goals are? Learn it in business school. Yep. So anyway, so SMART goals. So a SMART goal, a goal that is SMART, has 5 different characteristics. So it must be specific. So who can give me an idea of what a specific goal is in your real estate business? I feel like I don't like to hear myself talk. I don't hear you guys talk.
I can give some. So, I mean, specific goals, I want to do 7 million in volume this year. And then I've broken it up into 4 main different categories. I want to do 4 transactions through grant programs that I teach classes on, 7 through short-term rentals and investor focus, 5 through house hacking, which is another thing that I teach on and building out, and then 4 sphere of influence.
That's awesome. That's excellent. That's a great example, Drew. So those are specific goals. They are measurable. So when it comes to attainable, what was your production last year?
I think I did 5.8.
Okay. So if he did 5.8, I know Drew, I know he could do 9 or 10 million, but so 7 is an attainable goal for him. So that meets the SMART system. They're relevant. They're all related. They're part of his goal for closings, and timely. You said you want to do this within a year, right? Okay. Or time specific. I love that. So that's exactly how you guys should be thinking. So what that tells me too is Drew knows his client base. He knows his audience or his target audience. So good for you. All right, let's look at the big picture. So let's think about, here's the question you want to ask yourself. Where are you now? Are you just starting out? You've not closed any deals, or have you closed one or two? How do you know people? Have you talked to people about your real estate business? The second question is, where do you want to be? Okay. And be realistic here. Don't set yourself up for failure. Look, look, I know it's aggressive as a new agent. Hey, I want to do 50 million this year. Well, you're probably not going to do it as a brand new agent. So let's think more realistic. So where do you want to be at the end of the year? Look at this scenario. Think this way. You just got dropped into the Sahara Desert. You have nothing, no one. What are you going to do to win business? So I know Grant Cardone did this reality thing where essentially he did that same thing. And so here's a guy who generates $1 million businesses. And of course, yeah, he comes up with $1 million business within, I can't remember if it's 40 days or whatever. But the idea here is that you have resources within you that you need to tap into. And by the way, you have us as a resource. We have the mentor program for those that need it. I'm not going to really go through this. This is one of your worksheets. So this is a personal and business expense worksheet. This will help you walk through and understand how to come up with a ballpark figure for your business and personal expenses that you're going to need to be able to come up with your goal for the year. How many transactions do you need to reach your income goal? Well, here's how it works. You figure out what your average sales price is in your area. Who knows what the average sales price is in Charlotte or this market? The average. I think it was 370 the last I saw. Anybody got a better update than that? That sound good? Okay, we'll go with 370. What is your average commission per side? Okay, so for me, it's not 3%. It's somewhere about 2.65% because some of my deals were builder deals where they're offering 2.5, things like that. Average commission per sale. How much money do I intend to earn? How many transactions will I need to close? So those are questions that will help you come up with setting your goals. Here is one exercise I encourage you to do. And by the way, let's do this right now with each other. Okay, so we want to know, what are you worth? What is your hour? What are you worth by the hour? So how much money gross do you want to make that by the end of the year? So if you were to say 100,000, then you want to divide your income by 52 weeks, right? Okay, now I've got a figure per week. Now divide that weekly goal by number of days worked per week. Now, a lot of agents work 6 days per week, right? Some of you work 2. So whatever it is, put that in there. And then divide by number of hours working in real estate daily. We'll just say 8 hours. So for that person who says, I'm going to make 100,000 a year, and I'm going to work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, then you're worth $48 an hour. Does that make sense? However, if your goal is $200,000 and you have the same criteria, then you're worth about $100 an hour. The whole point here is, in real estate, there's a lot of mundane activities and work that are non-revenue producing, that as you grow and scale, you want to think of handing it off or paying somebody else to do it. Because when your focus is on lead generation and conversion, you can make a lot more money. Okay, planning and tracking. Let's see where we are here. Okay, we're just after 10. The power of a plan. To have a plan, you got to have a plan to know where you're going, right? And you got to have a map to get there. So I love tracking. In the military, we have a lot of we call trackers, which are really Excel spreadsheets. But tracking helps us measure progress, or track your progress. We can make course corrections when we're tracking our progress, and we understand where our money is going when we're tracking our progress. So what we mean here is tracking your numbers. As a real estate agent, you should always know your numbers. All right. In your current productivity, what does your work or your week consist of? Is it efficient, organized, and highly productive, or is it scattered, disorganized, and wasted time? You know what? If I really want to be honest, a lot of times mine is more on the scattered, disorganized, and wasted, because we get lazy as business professionals, right? We kind of fall into a routine. Anyway, you want to make sure that your schedule makes you productive. So we talked about revenue producing versus supportive activities. Well, I mentioned it. Somebody tell me what are the revenue producing activities, or what are some of them?
Writing contracts.
Writing contracts. Excellent. What else? And by the way, these are things you don't pay somebody else to do. These are what you do yourself. How about setting appointments? You can pay somebody to do it, but let's just say appointments. You're going to show up for the appointment, right? Because you're the business owner. You're the superhero here. What else is revenue producing? Give me one more.
Cold calling.
There you go. Any kind of lead generating. Okay. So supporting activities. Somebody tell me what a supporting activity is.
Social media.
Yep, could be. What's something that has to happen so you can get paid? Every firm requires you to send in what?
Report. Transaction report.
Paperwork in general. So we got to do it. It's got to be done, but it doesn't have to be done by us. For a long time, I had a transaction coordinator, and that's how I scaled my business, by the way. But supportive activities, they have to be done, but they're not revenue producing. Indirectly, they are, but the direct revenue producing things are what we just talked about. So just know the difference. There's an exercise called Where Does the Time Go? I think I emailed that to you. We don't have time to do Where Does the Time Go? But look at it for yourself. Time blocking. Let's just do this right here. So I know there are a few of you that are already doing this. Tell me, or tell the group, why do you time block and what do you get out of it? How does it help you?
I time block on Sunday because I need my content to come out at the same time every single day, every single week for the rest of my life. And that's what I do. And I got to do the same thing now with videos.
Okay. So you set up you time block and do your marketing activities, right? Okay. So I'll give you a real general time block for me that I learned that I didn't know when I was a new agent. So early on, I learned mornings are for planning, afternoons are for showing. Mornings are for planning, lead generation, afternoons are for showing. Once I got that, I was like, okay, that helps me because that keeps me from running in and out of the office in the morning to the afternoon to all this kind of stuff. So General things like that. Time blocking will help you save time, and it'll help you focus on the right activities that you should be doing. When we talk about time blocking, one thing I want to tell you is, first, I highly recommend when we time block, the first thing that goes in our calendar are things of necessity, like doctor's visits, then family, like family time, vacation time, blocks of time with family, and then business. So what we want to do, you want to block out the things that are important to you so you can do work around those, right? And that's what I love about real estate, is the flexibility, which allows you to be able to spend time with family, to get things done, but still have a thriving business. Time blocking allows you to focus on one activity at a time. For example, if at 8 in the morning, I start getting my spreadsheets, contact lists ready for lead gen, answering emails, and at 9 o'clock, from 9 to 10, I focus on returning calls, calling, who I need to call to gain new business. And then from 10 to 11, I focus on the backside of the lead gen, which is sending out the postcards, the emails to the people I just talked to. So that's 3 hours right there that I just time blocked for 3 different activities that are vital to my business. So that right there will keep you from doing it across 6 or 7 hours in a day. Okay, you're getting it done. Schedule time off before time on. We already mentioned that. And block your time with your goals in your mind. So you might want to, lead generation is what keeps our businesses going. So that should be pretty important as far as time blocking. All right, and this is just a schedule for time blocking. I think you guys have a copy of this. It's called The Perfect Week. I sent to you in the email. Take a look at it. And I will just say everybody's perfect week is different, but this is an idea. Personal accountability. If you don't, here's the one-liner: plan your work and work your plan. Stick to it, okay? If you don't plan, you're not going to get any work done. But once you do plan, make sure you stick to it. Get an accountability partner. I highly recommend not doing real estate on your own. You don't have to be on a team to do good in real estate. A lot of agents think, well, I need the help, I need to be on a team. Not necessarily. What you do need is an accountability partner. Find another agent in our firm that you get along with and that you would like to work with, and say, hey, let's help each other. Let's hold each other accountable. You can even do showings for each other. Accountability tools, we're full of them in the one login. A coach, a mentor. You get the idea here. All right, prospecting. At Realty One Group, we talk about circles of opportunity. So if you hear us saying COO, that's what we're referring to. If you look at the diagram, the concentric circles, we're working from the inside out. That's the best way to build a business. So when we're prospecting or looking for business, we first want to go to, a lot of people think, no, not family and friends, but yes, family, friends, and past clients. Who can tell me why we want to start in the inner circle first? It's really, there's one word, it starts with a T. Trust. We already have built trust with this inner circle, hopefully. Okay. Friends, family, past clients, they're the people that know, love, and trust us. People we've already done business with, as long as we didn't screw it up, they're going to refer us. They're going to send us business. Our own family may know us too well, but they want us to do well, right? They're going to refer us business. And friends, of course, will be some of your first or some of your opportunities. as well as talk about you and help you spread the word that you're in the real estate business. So from there, we want to work our sphere business, is what I call it, and then we're going to work out. So if you think really kind of how this works, I think it's really how it works. So you start with family and friends. They talk about you. They post you on social media, and now you're already on in the center circle. Now you're talking to past coworkers, you know, somebody that you met at the bank, or the bank teller, somebody you go to church with, a neighbor. And then the outer circle are, you know, those are the people that don't know you yet. But we're going to find a way to connect with them, whether it's through farming, your website, cold calls, etc. So the only thing I want you to get out of this slide is that you want to start with Sphere Business. I highly recommend it because you don't have to spend any money. Okay, the GPS tools that we've talked about and that I've emailed you are the year, month, week form, the weekly accountability sheet, lead conversion tracking sheet, the perfect week, where does my time go, and scripts and dialogues. And so the scripts and dialogues, we will go over them throughout the 12 weeks or the 12 modules, but make sure that you have a copy to refer to. Okay, so we're at the last slide. So I don't know, Christy or Darcy, somebody that's been on here before, would one of you like to kind of tell us what the one habit is?
You're gonna basically make 3 phone calls to people you know, and then you're gonna add 3 additional, and then from that you're going to send out 6 notes to those individuals.
Okay, so yep, close enough. So the one habit, the purpose here is to get you in the habit of lead generating. Okay, so what we think is, or what we know is, if you haven't developed the habit yet, the minimum, like, least painful thing you can do a day is make 3 phone calls. So you want to make 3 phone calls to people you want to do business with. Okay, I don't care if it's business owners, personal friends, whatever, but call 3 people. Those 3 people that you've connected with, get their permission, add them to your database, add them to your newsletter, whatever it is, your Facebook group, whatever your lead gen or lead magnet, your thing is. So for me, I have a newsletter that goes out every 2 weeks. It's a digital newsletter. It's actually, it goes out by email, but it's a newsletter. And I do some other things, but those are the 3. The 6 is, what you're doing is writing handwritten notes to the 3 people you just added, and then you're going to dig into your database, unless your database is one that tells you who you need to contact. So you're going to do 3 handwritten note cards to the 3 people you just called, and you're going to do 3 more to 3 other people in your database that need to be touched. If you will do that on minimum, at the end of 30 days, guess how many people you have in your database that you didn't have before? So it's small steps that lead to bigger gains. So, and I say this because a lot of agents are afraid to get on the phone or talk to people. These 3 calls could be bumping into people at the grocery store or at the ball field, or, you get what I'm saying? It doesn't have to necessarily be a phone call, but it's 3 contacts, 3 touches, 3 ads, 6 notes, and that'll help you grow your business. So that is Rev Up number 1. And I'm going to, before I go into any questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop record.
Where's the